guys, and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be redrawing one of my first OCs. So that is actually one of the 6 OCs that I drew in that video. I actually drew 6 OCs into trading cards, and I looked back on the video and it's actually still public so you guys can watch it, and it was 3 years ago, which I thought was crazy. And if you guys like this video, maybe I'll do the other 5 OCs and redraw them in some upcoming videos. I think that would actually be pretty cool, but it's up to you guys. Leave a comment down below if you guys would like to see that. So I kind of wanted to change things up a little bit. I actually wanted to show you the sketching process because I don't ever think I've actually ever done that. Or I show you guys like the sketching process and how I draw. It's usually just like, oh, here, I already drew it off camera and now let's color it together. So here you guys actually get to see how I like sketch it out and like plan the whole drawing and then color and outline. So I wanted to keep Flurry mostly the same, so I didn't change her that much except just like make her a more updated version, and I did do a few things with her hair, but that's different. And I did change her bow tie, but she still looks recognizable as that character, as you'll see later on. But I did change the bow tie to whatever that thing's called on her neck. I know clowns wear it, I just have no clue what it's called. Here's the first time ever, guys, you get to see me draw a hand on camera. It actually was pretty hard, and I was like, what in the world am I doing here? But then I eventually figured it out, and I do think it turned out pretty well. I was like, okay, this is great. I was actually so happy with the hands, because usually I try to hide the hands because they're usually like so difficult. But somehow I did these hands, and I was like super happy with how they turned out. And here, I do fix it later because there was some messed up anatomy there, so I do fix it later. So I did the pose where she's like on her stomach but propped up with her elbows because I kind of wanted to do some like dynamic poses. I don't really know if that's a dynamic pose, I just kind of wanted to do something different because I feel like I always just do them like sitting there or standing, you know, just like nothing like exciting or dynamic, so I really wanted to try something different. So behind the card that I made for her, there was like a back to it, and like it has all like her information or whatever you want to call it. It says name, Flurry Full Moon, and then species, clown. I think like her species should be human, she's just a clown, but I don't know. It was 3 years ago, so. But then it says gender, female, favorite thing, fire. I was like, okay. And then it says magic, fire. So I was like, she likes a lot of fire, alrighty. It's just fun to get a good laugh out of like old artwork. It's super funny. It's like, what was I thinking back then? Her favorite thing's fire, but alright, whatever. So I was trying to get out of my comfort zone on this video in the sense of filming, because usually the harder things I like don't film, like eyes and hands. I usually like get up close and like really try to do them well without filming because I put my camera over top, so then I can't be that close to the drawing because my camera's close. So this one I was trying to get out of my comfort zone and like draw with the camera on, like not just have it pre-drawn and then colored in. I was like, I really want to try to like draw the eyes, the hands, all the difficult stuff on camera. And I do think it turned out pretty well. I do like how her eye turned out. And I was just sticking with the pose that she already had on like her face, where she was winking. So here's where I changed her hairstyle to more of like a curly, flowy hairstyle, because no joke, her bun was like super tight and slick back, and it reminded me, no joke, of Lady Gazella from Keeper of the Lost Cities, and she's like my least favorite character, so I did not want Flurry to look like her, so I was like, I'm gonna give you some nice curly hair. Here's where I thought it all finally came together and it was finally looking nice, and I was like getting it together. I was like, alright, now I just have to do the coloring, and it looks really nice. But then when you're using like paint markers, of course it goes through an ugly phase because then you have to wait to do the shading and outlining, so it kind of goes through like a little ugly phase. And midway through I was like, yeah, this is definitely the ugly phase. So you'll just have to wait and see, because it is kind of funny like how like it looks super bad and then it takes like a whole 360. So recently I've actually been loving using Arrtx's acrylic markers for some reason. They like just go on so well, and you can layer the colors and also blend. Here's what I'm going to do it a little bit later, as I'm going to use my finger to like smudge and blend. You'll see that. It's actually kind of funny how I do it because I'm like rubbing my finger back and forth on the paper. I could use the marker, but I also don't want like colors to bleed on the different nibs, so I just use my finger. And the art supplies I used for this drawing, for like all 3 drawings, is I used the Arrtx acrylic markers, and then I used my dark brown Prismacolor colored pencil. And then that's like all I used. I just used those, and then like all of the Arrtx acrylic markers, because I've been wanting to like use those and like try to do like a full piece on it, because usually I'll just do like half Arrtx markers and then like half something else. So here I just decided to do like the full drawing, just paint markers, and it turned out pretty well, I think. You guys will have to tell me what you think at the very end. So on accident, after I was halfway through the drawing, I realized, oh, I messed up her skin tone. Her complexion was actually like really pale, and I think that's the only marker I had back then, so I just did that. But I really do like the skin tone I put on her now, so I think I'm gonna stick with that if I draw her in the future. But it's not that accurate. Like if you look to the card, she may look like a different person, but I still really like how it turned out. So her skin tone does look a little bit streaky here, but I do end up going over it 2 or 3 times. I just didn't film it because who wants to see me going over it multiple times? But I did end up doing that, like I did in her coat. I just didn't show it, but I do end up going over it a few times to make it more like a solid color and not like streaky. So you will see that later on. Sneak peek to the next video, I'm going to be drawing your guys' OCs, so if you haven't already, send me your OC. You can tag me in a community post and I will see it. I already have the 3 picked out for that video, but if you send it to me, I will be able to do it for like another part, because I may be doing like a few parts to that. I always have my YouTube notifications on, so if you tag me in a post, I will usually see it right away. And if I don't comment, just comment on one of my videos that you like tag me in a post for your OC, and I'll go check it out. Now here's where it was a little bit of pressure, because I was trying to make sure I got these circles completely circle, because nobody wants a wonky circle as like the makeup, because you can't really fix it. I mean, of course I could go over it with like the skin tone, but that would take so many layers to cover up that red. I just really had to get it right. So it's like no pressure at all, just make this circle completely not wonky, and you're on camera while you're doing it. So maybe it was a lot of pressure, but maybe it was just me. So as the summer's coming up, I'm really hoping I can have like a consistent posting schedule, but at the same time, like college work is just insane, of course, you know, so I'm trying to keep like a consistent schedule now. I have a few videos I want to post. I have one that's in the works, what I said, the drawing your guys' OCs, and then I have another one that's a secret that I'm working on, and then maybe I want to do like a draw with me and maybe some live streams. So I do have a few things I want to do, but they're just in like the works right now. Here's where I paused the video and forgot to unpause it when I was doing the little blue stripes. So at the very end, I decided to like unpause the video and just show you a little bit of what I was doing, because for some reason I forgot to unpause it. And then here is where I'm coloring in this little thing. I still have no clue what the name is. I actually need to look that up so I can tell you guys what it's called. I looked it up and it says it's called a ruffled collar. But then I seen a bunch of other names it's called, so maybe that's just one of the many names it's called. But here I wanted to like do all the different colors that was on her little bow tie. I wanted to incorporate all of those different colors. And in the end it kind of got a little muddied, but I still think it turned out pretty well. When blending the colors, apparently my artist brain may have forgot that when you mix yellow and blue you get green. So it kind of turned a little bit green instead of just like yellow and blue separate. But in the end, I do think it ties everything together well. But maybe I should have left the blue and yellow a little bit more separate. I didn't actually show much of this because it was like super time consuming, and no matter how fast I sped it up, it was like taking forever. And I didn't want it to be like too fast, so I just put a little segment in. Blending the outer edges with like the light gray and then like the white together, making it just like a fade in, was really satisfying and fun actually. But like it ruined my white, I think. Like my white was hanging on and doing good, and now like the white is just like completely gone. Like I have to press down and then like the nib keeps going into the marker and I'm like no, and I tried to pull it out and then like white paint got all over my fingers. So I may have to figure out how to get another one. I don't know, I don't think they sell them separate. So I may just have to like wait till I get another set or something, because I feel like my white marker may have bit the dust. here you can see how I would like blend the colors together and then like use my finger to like pull the colors out so they blend a little bit. Because what happened with my white marker, I really didn't want to mess them up, so I was like, I would just use my thumb or finger to blend instead of using the marker itself. But I do feel like that works in the end because it does mix the colors together really efficiently. It's just like you get paint all over your hands. So I kept her eye purple, as I did in the original, because I was like, I kind of want to keep everything the same. I was going to do her like eye like more of a brownish, but at the same time I was like, no, I kind of want to keep it closer to the original, even though I gave her curly hair and everything. I didn't really have a brown that matched her hair color specifically, like really great, so I kind of just did this color as like an undertone, and then I built it up with like more different browns to like give it more texture and like waves. But here I'm still figuring out how to like do different like styles of shading hair with the paint markers. Because with my alcohol markers, I'll just like blend the colors in and like do a bunch of shading, like as I usually do. But right now, I was like, how am I supposed to do this? Because I was like, I can't really blend them that well. I mean, I can, but it takes a lot of effort, and then you gotta kind of like mix the colors and the nibs get messed up. So I kind of just did it this way, where I like put a bunch of streaks. And I do feel like that actually did suit the hair pretty well. Like most of my sketchbook recently has been filled up with like fruit drawings and just like Arrtx marker drawings. I can't remember, I've been so long ago that I've used my markers for some reason because I've been using these so frequently. And then I had like a bunch of art blocks, so no joke, I have not used alcohol markers in forever. So I'm gonna have to get back into that when I do drawing your guys' OCs. Here's where I felt like her hair needed something more. I was like, it's good, I like it, it just needs something different and more. So I pulled out like the pink paint pen, and I was just like, here I'm going to put some little pink streaks because the background on the card actually has a pink background. So I was like, I'll just do like that and give her some pink tips. And I do really like how they turned out. It's super cute with like the little pink tips on like the little curly edges. Finally, the outlining. It's so much different when you use like alcohol markers because you do the outlining right after you do the sketch, and then you do like the alcohol markers. But with like paint pens and like acrylic markers, you do the outlining last. So it's like so different because I was like, I thought about doing the outlining first, but then I was like, no, it would just get covered up by the paint. So it's a bunch of different processes, but I really enjoyed it. And if you guys have stayed this long, I don't know if there's a clown emoji, but like put a circus related emoji in the comments so I know that you've stayed this long. I thought about using different colored pencils to like outline the things, like using like a dark gray for her sleeves, but then I was like, the dark brown kind of works for everything. It kind of gives it like a good contrast overall. Now on to the second drawing, and I actually drew a hand, guys. I drew a really big hand. And you guys can see me doing it here. And it kind of looks decent. I mean, it took me a minute to figure it out. I don't know if it was just me, but maybe it would help you guys. Drawing on camera, or like sketching it out, it was a really big confidence boost because sometimes you're like, I don't want to mess up on camera and take forever. But when you do it, it actually really helps you like get more comfortable with like drawing stuff that you're not comfortable with faster. Because I did this hand relatively quick, and usually I'm not that good at drawing hands. Now, as you guys will see in a minute, I said I drew the hand good. I didn't say anything about how I drew the fire, because she's gonna have like fire coming out of her hand, because on the back of the card it says she has like her magic is fire. So I figured it'd be something cool to put up at the top was like her like fire coming out of her hand, since apparently she likes fire too. So I figured that would be nice, but this right here kind of looked like water to me. I don't know why, because it looks like fire now, but for some reason it looked like water then. And then I tried whatever this is. I didn't video it, but I tried to make it like a ball of fire. Like it was like around at the end, so I tried to make it like a ball of fire was coming out of her hand, like she was about to throw it or something. Here I was using my ruler to draw some tickets, because when you go to a carnival, what do you have? You have tickets. Or you get a ticket to enter. You just like think of tickets when you go to a carnival. So I was drawing like a bunch of tickets, and they were like all connected. And then the bottom ticket that you're gonna see in a minute has like a tear on it, because like the guy like teared it off per se. I made the tickets orange because I was trying to stick to like a carnival theme with like red, blues, yellows, and oranges. Because I was looking at like aesthetics of like, I looked up like circus aesthetic. And I was trying to like find like inspiration pictures. And then I found the tickets. And I was like, oh, that would be nice. As you can see, I forgot to film, but I did put a yellow background behind Flurry, and I put some like stars and like little dots behind it as well, and like those really big star looking things. I forget what they're called, but I did some of those as well, and I like tried to make it to where it all ties together, because like the yellow would be in like the fire, and then I'd also put a little bit of yellow in the tickets, so it kind of like all tie it together. I kept the tickets fairly simple. I just did like a light orange background and then like the outline a darker orange, and then I just put on like the main part of the ticket, I just put ticket on there, just keeping it fairly simple. And then I put some like shading or like some colored pencil where the fire would hit the ticket, because it kind of just collide like that, so I just like I'll go along with it. So I don't know why, but this whole clip was like really blurry, like all of me coloring her hand. I tried to fix it, but I don't know why. But once I start painting the fire, it doesn't get blurry anymore. So I feel like this whole fire may have been in bust, because I'm not really sure that it looks like fire, because like it's rounded, because I was trying to make it like a ball of fire. But then I was like, how am I really supposed to do this? So I tried to make it like blended to make it like get like deeper into the flame. So I'm not really sure if it looks like fire per se, but I really do like how it just turned out in general, because I feel like it looks nice. I like how the colors blended and everything. Maybe thinking I'd be done after that, but no, because I was like, the top looks a little bit bare, so I was like, I want to fix that. So I decided to put a banner. You'll see in just a second, because I actually do think the banner turned out pretty cute. I thought about putting something on it like circus, or maybe something like in the middle, like little letters, but then I was like, I don't want to like crowd it or make it cluttered or like mess it up or anything, so I just left it as like a plain cute banner. And if you guys are still here, thank you for watching till the end, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll see my upcoming videos too.